This
Email.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, web@tiltonnewhampshire.org, which will be monitored during the meeting. We will ask from the public any questions after we have discussed it on the board. We should start with a roll call vote. Bill Lawrence is here.
Dembitsky here.
John Scanlon here.
Theodore Gargano here.
Catherine Dawson here.
Great, good turnout.
Thank you all.
So, do we have an agenda for tonight?
Yes, it was posted. It's on the website if you want to go to, if you can get to the website. I don't know if I can get there from here. Basically, it was that last meeting we discussed that we wanted to look at the town items and work from there. Catherine,
Okay.
Something you had in mind or you had suggested?
We could start with the minutes of January 6th. Did everyone get a chance to read those?
Yep.
Yes.
I move we accept them.
I'll second.
That was Ted, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, the only discussion article was that you had in red letters Orangeburg.
Oh yeah, I had no idea what that was.
That's the name of an old type of clay piping, and I think it is spelled pretty much orange, B-U-R-G. There might be an H in it, I'm not sure, but that would be close enough.
All right, I'll make that correction. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other? All those in favor? Another roll call vote. Bill Lawrence, aye.
Dawson, aye.
Dembitsky, aye.
Scanlon, aye.
Ted, aye.
Great. Passes. Okay, so then we are going to move on to the selectmen's budget. Anybody want to have any input on that?
I guess I can start with something. So there was Catherine Dawson asked if we could return to the police department, take a look at that. Presently, we have two personnel that have left the police department, Officer Buffington and Dispatcher Morse, and the selectmen are going to be meeting and discussing our personnel and staffing options. So it looks like there will be a reduction there, but it's the amount or exactly what type of reduction would be done is not yet been decided. So there will be some additional changes coming up.
I personally think the town's done really well with this budget in this time period with COVID times. I'm really happy that everyone has buckled down and has been trying to trim any fat off the budget. And it looks like our revenues are pretty much on track. Tim, are you there?
Yes.
How is the average of our revenues? Is that typically around the 2 million range?
Yeah, we're seeing a slight change in the revenues for 21. So anticipating that the Building permits are going to be down somewhat. The SRO is going to be down somewhat, and for different reasons. There's a lot of activity brewing in land use, but the total of what we're anticipating for permits and revenue, we don't expect to meet, what we had hoped originally. And in terms of the SRO, in prior years, for the last 7 years, we either had the highest paid officer or the next highest paid officer in that position. And the revenue that we derive from that is based off of a contract with the Winnisquam Regional School District, and it's based off of a percentage of time that they are assigned to the school and are working at the school, in addition to a fee for the cruiser. So the net of that is we've changed to an officer that's towards the lower end of the pay scale, not the lowest, but mid to low end of the pay scale, who, because of that, we won't be billing as much to the school district because of the cost of the officer. So those are two of the items. So essentially, we're looking at about a $70,000 reduction from 2020. And the reason why I factored out the sewer commission, because the sewer commission increased their budget, and because it's a pass-through, I wanted to also give you the revenues less the sewer, so that you see the net effect of the town revenues.
Great, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Other input?
So are we reviewing the selectmen's budget? Is that what we're doing?
Well, the whole budget. Any areas that you think is important?
Well, I don't know about importance, but just going through it, there's a few questions. I mean, I'm just going to start from the beginning. I have the department's requests, and then the selectmen voted. I have, let's see, town administrator, administrative assistant, one's at 3.2% and one's at 1.2. Shouldn't these be like 2% across the board like the rest of the people?
Well, that's up to the budget committee to decide. If we want to put them at that rate, that's what we should do.
Well, John, did you want to talk about that? So the merits that are awarded?
Yeah.
These were a lot of sound coming from somewhere. I'm having trouble hearing. If I could just recommend that if you're not speaking, but in any event, so the town administrator's salary was brought up based on market rates, and the administrative assistant's salary, these budget transfers were already done. So anytime you see a number in there, that reflects after the July 1 increase. So you're seeing half the year increase there. So these were already awarded. These are the current salaries extrapolated over 2021. And the merit pool, the way it works is it's budgeted for 2020, it was budgeted at an overall 2.5% for those people that are eligible, but it's all based on merit. So if the board deems that they've outperformed, there's certainly, it's up to the board if they want to award more than 2.5%, or if they feel they're for whatever reason, if they had reached the top end of their salary, for some reason, they could award less. So it's totally at the discretion of the board. And what you see here represent really half-year figures. So you're seeing the effect of the increase already in as of July.
So are we in essence only voting on half of this? I don't understand why it said, you said salary's already been determined, and then we're seeing half and then a half a year. What?
Well, let me put it this way. It's
Okay.
irrelevant what the percentage increase is. So really, the net comes down to the fact that the department request, you see the town administrator's salary and the selectmen voted, that is the town administrator's salary. That is what she's earning on a weekly basis. And same thing for the administrative assistant on an hourly basis. So those are their current wages in the that are currently in existence in 2021. And they went into effect as of July 1, 2020. So those will be.
Okay, so that's a select board thing?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So they were next evaluated in July of 21. So, and that's the case for all of the salary lines that you see throughout the budget.
Mr. Chair,
That's a tough, yeah. I mean, it's a tough thing when they're already getting it. You're not really going to make any adjustments or anything like that throughout this whole budget because they're already getting paid that.
Well, everyone's earning something. Oh, yes, I guess that's correct.
Okay. So
Pat,
then
did you have a question? What was that, Christine?
I said, so in essence, all of, the FICA and the insurance, all of that, it's all kind of lumped into that same scenario. It's already budgeted, let's say, or already approved, and it's based on what people are getting for pay.
That's correct.
Okay, now I get that. Oh.
Pat, did you have a question?
I did because Tim had mentioned that this in 2021, that it's built into the budget for 2.5% for merit increases, and it's really 2% increase. In the past, we've always put 2.5%, but this year we're putting 2%, not 2.5%.
That's correct.
Correct.
It was specific to the increase that was done in July of 20, if I misspoke.
Right.
Any other comments or?
I have another one. And
Sure.
Tim, you probably already explained this. The short-term interest is way down. Is that because we paid a bunch off?
Well, so that is still something I'm trying to work on, and I'll explain. But essentially, if you remember last year, the warrant article for the police building, the Department of Revenue Administration requires that any interest that's paid on the short-term construction note be budgeted in the operating budget. So when I did the budget reconciliation after town meeting, I included that figure that was in the warrant article in the this short-term budget figure. So that's coming way down primarily because of the fact that we're not going to have a construction bond throughout the entire year, and then the other thing is that we're going from a 2.3% TAN tax anticipation note down to a 1%. So we're seeing a pretty significant savings there. The only caveat is, and I have so any payment made on the bond anticipation note has to be charged to short-term interest, and I plan to address that with the selectmen. I will have to add back some money because of the closing that we're looking at of the bond in February. I have to account for the January interest and partial February interest. And because we're at the tail end, clearly the majority of the bond anticipation note, the construction bond, if you will, has been used up. So it is on the higher side. So that may require a small change, but in essence, just for our own operation needs on an annual basis, if we're able to achieve a 1% or in that neighborhood, which I thought was a fabulous rate for a $3 million tax anticipation note, that that we'll be able to keep our interest costs down. The downside of that, the interest that we're receiving in revenue, also sort of follows along on that path. So we're not getting a lot of interest in revenue, but we're also not paying a lot of interest when we borrow.
So there could be still a slight increase to this budget when you finalize those numbers?
Just for the short-term interest because of the bond anticipation note for partial for the up until we have a closing date for the bond. So that might be another $6,000 or so. I'm trying to work that out now.
Okay.
So right now the bottom percentage is up 2.67%. Is that still accurate?
Yes. Yep, that is. And as John said in the beginning, that it's entirely possible that that the selectmen may make some adjustment that could bring that down further. That remains to be seen.
Tim, I have another question. It looks like the PPP got pre-approved again. Are we going to be doing that for the town? The second round?
We've not been notified of anything like that for municipalities. So we're not anticipating anything at this point. In fact, if anything, we brought down our rooms and meals number 5%, only because it seemed as though if there were going to be an area that might be a little light, although the state revenues have been strong, they're coming in a little different allocation than was originally thought. But so we were a little more conservative on the rooms and meals piece, but we're not anticipating at this point any additional COVID money unless there's something in that the proposed 1.9 trillion that's for municipalities. Maybe we would see something down the road if that gets approved.
I'm looking at cultural and recreation. Park maintenance island is from 1,500 to 19,500. There's no explanation under there. What's that for?
Yeah, so that's that is for, where are we here?
The grant.
For the bridge.
Oh, for the bridge. Okay, yes. Okay, got it. All right.
$17,000. And then we did up the general maintenance because we're anticipating, when Tilton owns the island, that we'll have slightly higher expenses for the island in the near term.
I think that's it for me. Sorry.
Okay.
No, thank you, Christine.
Awesome.
So I think we should bring it to voters and to public hearing. For now, I don't have much more. I think that we can work with here, unless other people have questions or suggestions.
Well, it looks like the outside agencies aren't all filled in for the budget committee side.
Right. I think we're all complete with that.
Right. It's just not on the one I'm looking at.
We haven't voted on Lakes Region Planning, have we?
We don't.
What do you mean we don't?
I don't ever remember us voting for them before, but
We-
I
Well,
thought
if
that
we
was,
want to be
I
in the
thought
budget,
that was a selectman's choice, sort of like the dog catcher type of thing.
okay, but we still have to either approve the amount or reduce the amount or increase the amount and put it in our budget. Otherwise, it won't be voted on at town meeting.
Are we going to get a presentation on that, or?
I don't know.
I think that we got a contract. Jeannie, did we get a contract price from them? What you show here is what they sent us as a contract price.
Well, that is our cost for the year to participate with Lake Region. It went down slightly from last year.
Right.
I believe it's population based.
And they're mostly a resource for the planning board, correct?
Correct.
Is there anything else anyone can tell me? I mean, I served as a town representative of Lake Region Planning years ago. And we actually used them a lot with the planning board, but does the planning board still use them on a regular basis?
Anybody can use them. So the planning board can use them. The conservation commission can use them. They have a lot of information on wetlands, etc. I've been on several of the Lake Region Planning Commission committees. They also, the TAC committee, which is our roads. If we have an intersection or some section of road we want to have repaired, then that can be represented on the TAC committee. That's part of Lake Region Planning. The hazardous waste area is part of Lake Region Planning.
That's right. We didn't have the hazardous waste opportunity last year because we didn't sign up with them. Is that correct?
I thought it was because of COVID.
Right. It was because of COVID.
Okay.
We had that opportunity, right. Jeannie, can you answer that question, whether or not land use is still currently using the Lakes Region Planning, how often Leanne uses it?
I'm guessing that Janice could probably answer it just as well, or maybe not. I can tell you that Leanne has gone through, and I can't remember the acronym, but she went through a training to help us when we look at grants and doing transportation and pedestrian activities for Tilton. So, and just recently the land use or the Lakes Region Planning Commission worked with us on providing information for a road safety audit. You know, all the accidents that have happened there up by AutoServe. So we can get a lot of data from there. They collect data for the Lakes region and specific to Tilton, which is very helpful when we go for grants. So I can't speak specifically how much land use uses them, but I know I use them. We're looking at one of the things I'm going to talk to the selectmen about tomorrow night is a transportation alternatives program that there's potential funding, and you work hand in hand with Lakes Region Planning Commission. So they are, in my opinion, a huge and valuable resource to the town, especially a small town like we are.
No, I always felt they were.
I was also going to say they were also helpful with us when we were looking for, after Dari left and we were looking for a new land use person. So they've just been overall, I think a very helpful resource for us.
Yeah, I always felt they were very valuable on the many years I was on the planning board. So we probably should, I'll make a motion that we approve 3531 for Lakes Region Planning.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, we'll take a roll call vote. Bill Lawrence, aye.
Dawson, yes.
Kambitsky, aye.
Scanlon, yes.
Gargano, yes.
All right. Is that all we have to, the rest of, I mean,
Have
there was
we
something,
approved
the Lockmere animal control. No, I guess we should do that too. And that is still Birch Hill Kennels doing that?
Yes, it is.
Well, I'll get that on the floor. I'll move that we accept animal control for 5,500.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that? Anybody need any information on that, or? That's basically just a contract again, correct? Like Lakes Region Planning, they'll help with any kind of animal problems we have. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Bill Lawrence, aye.
Dawson, yes.
Kambitsky, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
Gargano, yes.
Great.
Have we approved CAP?
I believe
Yeah.
we have.
Yes, I believe we did the
For
last
12
meeting.
12,000, yeah. On,
Right, good.
on the 6th, I think.
What
What about the Lockmere Water District? What do we have to do with that?
We received their information, and I know Tim is going to be handling the signature part of things with the team. So you'll be getting something from him shortly. Tim, do you want to say anything more on that?
Well, so yeah, in order to get the board's signature, Janice, was it sent to them, the document?
No, the document was not sent.
Okay,
I gave you everything.
okay, all right. So I did scan what they sent. So I will go ahead and send it to the budget committee in just a minute. And then what I can do is put up the signature page in an application called Sign Now, and invite you all with your individual emails to that. And there'll be it sort of steps you through electronically signing it. Either that, or you'd have to arrange with Janice to come in and somehow sign or make arrangements to sign, here at Town Hall. There's also going to be, I don't know that has to be done immediately, because you'll also have to sign the Town 737 following the budget hearing once you've finalized everything. But maybe it makes sense to do the Lockmere in the interim, since there's going to be some time before you have your finalization of this budget.
We should be approving it before we just send it out to Sinex. Because we have to vote on that.
Yes.
On the Lockmere budget?
Yes.
Yes.
That is a pass-through, right?
Well, pretty much, I'm never really keen on the term of pass-through, because we can go, if we feel that something like that is wrong, we could go and change it. However, the consequences are a little bit different. I mean, Paul usually comes down and presents it, and with the whole COVID thing, it's been a little difficult for that. So we do have a copy of that. Has everybody received it?
What
No,
he
I
had
don't think,
submitted?
No,
I don't think I've seen it.
No,
I just,
go ahead, Tim.
in just a minute, I thought it was sent out. And so anyway, I have a scanned copy. I sent it out. So it contains not only their MS 737, but also their profit and loss statement. So what I was saying is that once you do, review and approve this, it can be put up for your signatures electronically, where you can make arrangements with Janice.
I find the final number here.
It's $41,920. And if you were to make a motion, it would just be as submitted on their MS 737, I would imagine, if that's what you're
Yeah,
looking for.
I think I'm going to make the motion that we approve the Lockmere Village proposed budget that is presented on the MS 737.
And that total is 41,920.
Let me see.
That's totally.
Yeah, it says appropriation 41,920 and estimated revenues 41,920. So at the end it's zero.
Did we have a second to John's motion?
Are you asking if there was a second yet?
Right, right.
No, there has not been a second yet.
Okay, well, I'll second that for discussion purposes. Everyone's still reviewing it, or?
So is this like the sewer commission? Money in, money out, and it's always zero, or?
Yes.
That's
Yes, it is.
correct.
Okay.
The Lockmere residents pay the fees, right?
Yes, this is based on the fees that
The water bill.
the water bills, yeah.
They also have a capital reserve for capital projects as well.
Mhm.
There is, I don't think we've completed the sewer department yet. I know that they had, when the presentation was made, they presented some information afterwards that was requested. So we didn't vote on that yet.
we have a motion on the table for the Lockmere Water
Oh, sure.
District.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
sure. Yeah. I was just waiting to see if there was any more discussion. Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Bill Lawrence, aye.
Dawson, no.
Did you want to?
Scanlon, yes.
I'm still looking over. I'm sorry.
Catherine, did you want to mention anything? I didn't hear any discussion about that, but
Well, I'm since I'm not using my computer, I haven't seen the budget, and I'm like John. There's no such thing as a pass-through budget. So without seeing the budget, I can't vote a yes on it.
Okay, sorry. Gargano, yes. Sorry about that. Had to kind of catch up a little bit and read it.
yeah, there's not a whole lot on there. But
Oh, I'm tired. I apologize.
no, that's fine. I'm just saying to Catherine that there's not much. Looks like the government subtotal went from 5993 to 14333. Oh no, that was expenditures, and the appropriations were. So let's see, actual expenditures. Yeah. So I'm not sure what their previous budget was.
I can look up last year's if you like, but it should show you the appropriations for 2020 and also the actual expenditures. Let me take a look back at last year's, if you'd like to know the budget figure for last year.
You don't have to
Sure.
do all that. As I said, I'm not going to change my vote because I haven't seen it.
No, that's fine. No, I was just trying to help you out, Catherine.
I know. You're a
Looks like
sweetheart.
the government costs are 14,000, and then then water distribution and treatment. There's administration 13,535, water service 8,300, and water treatment conservation is 5,937, which comes to 27,587. Those seems to be the two costs that are in here. So administration is around 14,000, and then the water distribution and treatment is 27,000 plus, which come up to 41.
Did they send you a copy of their MS form, or did they send an itemized budget?
MS 737 form.
Oh, okay. They didn't send us a copy of their itemized budget. Okay, no breakdown.
No, not any more than, the typical MS 737, it does, with the administration
Yeah.
costs and things like that. But I mean, it's not
Everything's good.
like how much they spend on pumps and individual things. No, it doesn't have that. Or
Do you know if they raised their fees for 2021 or no? Because you're talking these expenses go from 5,993, and now for 2021 is 14,333, and the water distribution goes from 18,800 to 27,500. So, are they supporting that, keeping the fees the same, and taking it out of their capital reserve, or what? We don't know.
well, typically, if they have to, I think they were talking about some pumps and stuff. But typically, if they have to do some pumps, they'll take it out of capital reserve, and and then adjust fees to keep their capital reserve funded.
Yeah, so to me, it looks like they had to increase their fees.
Yeah, I mean, in the 6,000 up to 14,000, the executive went from 205 to 1,100. The financial administration went from 2118 to 7,083. I don't know what that is. Then the legal expense went from 0 to 500. Personnel personnel administration went from 792 to 1,000. General government buildings stayed pretty same at 2,700, and insurance went from 0 to 1,500, and other general government went from 178 to 400. So okay, we're
Did
still
they get to
voting.
participate? Oh,
Any
go ahead.
any other votes on here? Did Christine? Did you want to ask questions? Or?
I was just going to say, did they participate in any of the COVID-related items like PPP loans or whatever? Are they part of Tilden getting that, or are they on their own doing that? Do we know?
No, we wouldn't know that. I'm not sure
Okay.
how we should be proceeding here because we did call the question and
Right, we're voting now. But I
yeah,
was just allowing people to ask questions while they're voting.
we could
So-
bring it back up and reconsider it or something, but we should finish the vote off.
Right now we have my vote aye, Catherine nay. Who else?
I'm an aye. Ted was an aye.
Correct. And Christine, I'm waiting on you.
Oh, Dembitsky, aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so that passes. And then we wanted to, you said we should bring up the Tilton
Sewer?
Sewer
Right.
Commission.
I don't think we've completed that because the documents that were requested were delivered the next week. Somebody had asked for a review of those, so.
Right, we wanted their revenues as well as their,
Wasn't that sent out last week?
that might have been 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
That's
2 weeks
correct.
ago.
But we didn't have a meeting last week.
I mean, what I got in the email was a profit and loss of 2020. So I think we were trying to see where, if they, where everything was coming from, but I can't compare with only one year.
I think she
So what
sent a couple of
exactly are you
documents.
looking for revenue? Because I'm a sewer commissioner.
1 second, let me just.
Christine, what was your question on revenue?
I don't think I had a question on revenue. I'm just saying what we got in the email was the profit and loss of 2020. I have no idea now what we were asking 2 weeks ago.
No, I wanted
Maybe if
to
we
see
can,
what the revenues were because they didn't seem to show us that.
Hold on.
And we did get those because it's like $400,000 in revenue.
yeah, 476, 348. Was that all we were looking for?
I think that was my question. I'm not sure what other people had concerns
I'm gonna
with.
look let's see, blah, 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 blah.
Actually, it's covered quite a bit on the minutes. Peter Fogg went over quite a bit of that on the December 6th minutes, I think they were.
Okay, yeah, it says Lawrence wanted to see the in and outflow. Okay, yeah.
Did anybody need any additional information? I don't know.
Christina, you
Not
all
me.
set?
I am, yeah.
So do we need more information?
I'm good.
Good.
Is there a motion?
So I'll make a motion that we accept the sewer budget as submitted.
Second.
Any other discussion? Anybody from the public? I know I've been forgetting to ask that, but I don't see anybody out there. So I will vote aye. Bill Lawrence.
Dawson's going to abstain. I'm a sewer commissioner.
Scanlon, aye.
Dembitsky, aye.
Did Ted disappear?
He's on mute.
Okay. I don't see him anymore here, but
Oh,
he might have dropped out.
oh, right, off.
I think he's dropped out.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, well, I think it's approved.
1, 2, 3.
Right.
3 and 1 abstention.
There he is.
You back, Ted?
Ted, you're muted.
Yeah, it takes him a minute to get demuted.
The wonders of virtual. Ted, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. I disconnected from the internet.
So did you want to vote on the Lockmere or the
No.
Tilton Sewer District?
How did the votes go? Just out of curiosity.
Everybody's aye except Catherine, who is a commissioner, abstained.
Yeah, I'll do aye.
Okay, great. All right, so the next thing we have to get ready for the public hearing, right?
Did we vote on the park commission's expense portion of this budget?
We didn't vote on the whole administrative budget and all the other numbers. So we'd have to either vote on them or approve them as submitted by the selectmen. Or
Do we do that now or at the public hearing?
No,
no,
you have to do it now because we have to present a budget to the public
Okay.
for. approval.
Yeah, you have to have one that we can publish and put out there for the, for the citizens to see and take a look at. Yep.
So actually, it's the budget committee's budget that goes before the town meeting to be voted on. So that's,
That's correct.
Okay, well, so I would move that the budget as it stands with the add-ons, do we have anything that we've missed?
So
Um,
I'm working off the January 1st budget copy because I don't have a newer one. So my question again is, going from memory, did we vote on the park commissioner's portion of the budget? 34,500?
I believe we did, which included the roofing.
yes.
Yes. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And I don't know what other ones we may have skipped over and haven't done yet.
Bill, I didn't have that noted.
That we voted on that?
You did vote on that, Janice?
Well,
Yes, we did.
You did, okay.
I thought we did
I'll
too.
recheck the minutes, Tim, just in case, but I'm 99% sure we were complete on everything.
So what other lines have we not voted on?
Of the administrative, I don't, Tim, you have a copy of that. You can start
Yeah,
the
so
section.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah.
And, I can show you what I believe. So, for instance, in culture and recreation, if you voted on the park commission and Old Home Day, that left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other lines. The Green Committee, the park maintenance for the island, Hall Memorial Library, Tilton Events, and Memorial Day left in that particular budget segment under culture and recreation. But other than that, nothing else in the budget aside from culture and recreation, the ones I didn't mention, and then the outside agencies. Everything else is yet to be voted on.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, I think we already, I think we already did vote on some of these. I know we voted on, did you say, I can't really read the screen too well, but did you say Hall Memorial Library? Was
We
one of
voted
the
on
ones?
them.
That's
Yeah,
right,
we
we
vo-
did.
All right. So was the 131,950?
That's
Correct.
correct. And then, what other ones did you say?
The Green Committee for $1.
I don't remember. We didn't vote on that at all. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I didn't even know that existed.
Is that the Energy Committee?
That's the Energy Committee.
Yep.
And how about the Tilton Events Committee? Did we vote on that too?
I'll make a motion. We vote $1 for the Green Committee.
I'll second.
That was trying to. And then,
I'll call the vote.
Sure. For some reason, I thought we had lumped those three together, the Tilton Events, the Memorial Day, and the Green Committee, but maybe we didn't. So, yeah, all in favor of the dollar for the Green Committee. Bill Lawrence, aye.
Dawson, yes.
Gargano,
Scanlon.
yes.
And Biskey, aye.
Scanlon, yes.
Gargano, aye.
Okay, so if you just fill out these other three, if we have these other three lines, then your culture and recreation is done. The park maintenance island for 19,500. The Tilton Events Committee for 1,000 and Culture Memorial Day for 100. And that rounds out the culture and recreation budget.
So we didn't change any of these amounts.
No.
All right, then I'm going to make a motion that we approve under, for total culture and recreation, $190,051. Yeah, $190,051. Now there's no doubt.
I'll second that. Scanlon.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote. Bill Lars, aye.
Carson, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
Trubisky, aye.
Gargano, aye.
All right.
Okay, so what I would recommend is doing just what Catherine did there with the other departments. Unless you have changes to make, vote on the bottom line of each department.
But we don't have, because we have made some changes, didn't we? Or was that just in the outside agency?
To my knowledge, you've not made any changes to the operating budget of the departments.
So,
All right, so was that the outside
bottom,
agency?
the bottom line of all the departments, is that still 5,348,607?
That's correct.
Okay, can we vote on that
No.
conclusive, or do you want to go department by department?
You can do it that way.
Under culture and recreation, we changed some of those. We don't have the same amount selectmen do under culture and recreation.
Yeah, that's correct. So if we start at administration and then go down.
So we're meeting next week, right?
Well, we can, yeah.
Because we haven't gotten, John said that there will be changes made to the police line.
I can't guarantee that.
Right, but it sounds like there may be. So could we not next week vote on a bottom line that reflects the changes the budget committee has made, the budget committee's budget? Could we not vote on a bottom line then?
Or could we could amend it. So when does the budget have to go out for the public hearing?
We're around February 8th.
The plan is, I think it was somewhat decided that it's going to be posted so that it would fall on the February 10th meeting.
You're going to have the public hearing on the February 10th meeting? Okay.
So
Why do you say it like that, Catherine? You feel as though it's too late?
No, I think that's a good idea because it would buy us a little bit of time.
Okay.
So under chapter 32, we can reduce an amount. We just can't increase one without having another public hearing.
One of my concerns is that we wouldn't have a quorum for any reason to get this budget done. So I would like to go and vote on the budget, and then we could amend it down if necessary, based on whatever the final number is for the police department and that.
Well, then we couldn't vote on the bottom line. We'd have to vote on each one independently because our culture and creation amount is different.
Exactly. So if we start at the top section,
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Tim.
Catherine, you need a motion for the culture and recreation budget?
I have no idea what you said.
Yeah, it's very garbled.
Catherine, we just voted on the selectmen's budget on the culture and recreation. The 190,051 is their budget.
Right, but I heard the statement made that
outside agencies. I'm sorry. The outside agency our line is different.
Yes.
So one of the things we could do is have Tim subtract and I'm looking at the cover page. I've got page 1 of the January 5th budget. To subtract the 157,104 for outside agencies from the bottom line, we could vote on that figure, and then somebody could give us what we actually voted. Well, no, our outside agency stands.
Kathy, if I could just make a comment that the Board of Selectmen had decided on the same numbers as the Budget Committee for the outside agencies. So the selectmen voted on $157,104, which was what we show as the Budget Committee's voted outside agency budget.
Okay, again, I'm sorry, I'm working on this old budget, and my notes just show all our changes. It doesn't show the total. Okay, so that 157,104. Okay, so I'm looking at this cover page. Did they change their minds? Because on this, and maybe it's incomplete, but on this cover page from January 5th, I've got a total for the Budget Committee of $136,073. Or was that incomplete because we hadn't voted on animal control and Lakes Region planning?
Yeah, I would think so. And I think also, was CAP at your last meeting? Was that when you voted on that?
That's correct.
That was on in the beginning of January. I don't think that had been voted on yet as of the 5th.
All right, well then, to move on, let's vote, go ahead and do as John suggested and vote on that. But let's have a budget sent out to the Budget Committee that is itemized and shows that the Budget Committee voted for outside agencies so we can be certain. Sounds like we're all a little confused tonight.
Well,
the
budget that I sent following the selectmen's vote was the most recent, and but whatever you vote on tonight, I'll update it and send it out tomorrow.
Perfect. All right. Does that sound like a plan?
Sure.
Because again, we can reduce the budget at the public hearing. We just can't increase it.
If I may, I will vote, we can do it by each section, and I'll vote on the administrative budget, the total administrative amount of $656,739. Yeah, Tim's got the box there.
I have a question before we second it. I thought we were going to vote on the $5,348,607.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, that was what I was presenting. It'd be a little simpler.
Yeah, it'd be quicker.
There's a lot of roll call votes in there, John.
Mm-hmm. Well, so the motion fails. Let's try the next one.
There's no second. So would you like to make a motion for that, for the full amount, John?
Yes, which would be the subtotal departments, which is the $5,348,607.
Second.
Sure. All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, I will bring that to a vote. Bill Lawrence votes aye.
Johnson, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
Stambitsky, yes.
Ted, you out there?
Can you hear me? Gargano,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Motion passes. So when we notify the public of the meeting, do they have to have a copy of the budget, or do they use? Yeah, that has to be available. So
Yeah.
that has to be, the last possible day to submit the public notice is February 1st, right?
Right, so it'll be posted before the ads go out in the paper. It'll be posted on the website, and
And the ad will reference that, correct?
right, and you did review the estimated revenues earlier, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so then we just I'll go ahead and update this, send this out probably on Friday, and then hopefully next week we'll have the warrant articles for you, and that should pretty much do it at that point, and maybe an update on the budget.
So if the selectmen make any changes to the budget numbers will stay the same, and then and Tim and I will bring it back to the next meeting to share that and confirm any changes to the selectmen's side of the budget.
Okay, great.
Are we meeting again before the public hearing? I would suggest we do.
Yeah, we would have to meet next week, right? Or early February.
We could make it the week before the public hearing, or we could meet right before, during the public hearing, and make any adjustments. Either way. Like I said, we're going down. Nobody's going to be, well, I wouldn't think.
When is the next selectmen's meeting? Is that tomorrow?
Every Thursday, yeah.
Oh, every Thursday now. Okay. So I would suggest maybe we meet next week, and then if there's any issues, we'll have another week to decide what we're going to do. How's that sound?
Brilliant.
I know we're in a grueling phase now, but let's go.
Yeah. It'd be a quickie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Unless there's any other questions or input from the public, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Bill Lawrence, aye.
Dawson, yes.
Gargano, yes.
And Bisky, aye.
John?
Scanlon, yes. No,
Right.
I was just thinking we also have to give our opinion of the warrant articles too.
Sure. Well, maybe we'll have some of those next week, or
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. Well, thanks everybody for showing up tonight. Makes it work a lot easier.
Have a good night.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing.
Take care, everybody.
Get some
you
rest,
too.
Fred.
Yeah. Good night.
This conference will
Thanks,
now
guys.
be recorded.
I'm just